there, everyone. Weather for Weather Geeks time here on this Thursday evening. We're getting set to wrap up the month of April coming up this weekend, so thought I'd do the May forecast tomorrow evening. This evening, let's do a little review of April and how our forecast has panned out. We oftentimes put out these monthly forecast maps right around the end of the month or beginning of the month, and we focus, of course, on our local area, but I do the map for the entire country as well to give you a sense as to where the cool air masses are, where the warm air masses are, etc., etc. Well, here's our forecast that we put out at the end of March for the month of April. We advertised warm, even well above average temperatures out in the northwest, the west coast, cooler than average readings in southeastern Canada, parts of the Midwest, and our forecast was for a pretty typical month temperature-wise here in Youngstown, and that was forecast to be a change from February and March, which were both well above average. That was the forecast. Here is reality. Pretty good forecast, I would say. The warmth has indeed been centered along the west coast. It's been very chilly compared to average in interior parts of Canada, down into Ontario and Quebec, and you'll notice our cool anomalies slip down into the Great Lakes in the northeast as well. And for the month, we are running about 1.5 degrees below average. We'll make up a little bit of ground on the very last day of the month on Saturday, mostly because of warm overnight lows. The daytime highs won't be all that warm, but because of some mild overnight lows, we'll probably finish up the month about 1.2, 1.3 degrees below average. So just a little cooler than average. It's certainly been kind of a month that's been split in half almost. Lots of cool weather first half of the month. Then starting on the 14th, we went on a long stretch of above average days. And we had a very average day yesterday, and today was, of course, very, very chilly with a high of only 50. And it's been, of course, a damp day. Now, the Route 30 corridor has been where the heaviest rainfall totals have been. Canton, over towards Lisbon, East Palestine, kind of this zone through here, about half an inch. A little less down towards East Liverpool. About 1/4 of an inch or so, most of Mahoning County. Downtown's had a little bit less, and then amounts go up a little bit over towards Mercer. These are various backyard rain gauges that are connected to the internet. That's how I get this information. If your rain gauge says something different, well, pass it along to me on social media. All right, over the last 12 hours, here's a look at the rain, or the radar loop, I should say. Steadiest and heaviest of the rain was midday into the early afternoon. There it was right there, about 10, 11 o'clock. But even after that, we've seen light rain and drizzle coming and going from time to time, just about all day. Lightning and thunder well off to our south. It was never going to get unstable here today, but certainly unstable enough for some hail-producing storms once again today in southern Ohio and down into parts of West Virginia as well. All right, as far as the night tonight, what you see is what you get. Kind of a murky night. Clouds, low clouds, stratus clouds, occasionally producing a little bit of light rain, some patches of drizzle. And as you get up tomorrow morning, there won't be much sun to be found, that's for sure. And it'll rain a little bit, and maybe just drizzle from time to time, off and on throughout the course of the day tomorrow. Now, what I did with tomorrow's chances of precipitation, I kept them pretty elevated because, you know, you look at this and you think, oh, it's just going to rain all day. These probability of precipitations are elevated because it can just kind of spit rain or drizzle at just about any point tomorrow. I can't really pick, before we get to the late afternoon, before that point, I can't really pick a period where it's more likely to do something than not. It might just drizzle at just about any time. Now, as we go towards the late afternoon tomorrow and into tomorrow evening, I do think there is a better chance of more substantial rain for a few hours as a little disturbance heads our way. Here's our computer model spaghetti plot showing temperatures over the next couple of days. I think tomorrow is another cool day, but not as cool as today. We'll probably be in the mid-50s tomorrow, kind of in the middle here. Tomorrow night, a little bit chillier, lower 40s. And then as we get into Saturday, with some sunshine, we should be able to make it up into the lower 60s. 61, 60, 61, 62. Now, Saturday's not going to be quite as nice of a looking day as we thought previously. I'll show you why here in just a second. As far as Friday goes, again, clouds, and there's our little disturbance with perhaps some steadier precipitation late afternoon, early evening. Now, Saturday, it's going to cloud back up fairly quickly. But these clouds, it may look like it wants to rain, but it's probably not going to until pretty late in the day. So if you want to mow the grass or do anything else outdoors Saturday, you're looking pretty good until towards the end of the day. And that's when showers become a little more likely towards sunset, or a rainy Saturday night, and even Sunday looking damp, especially Sunday morning. Might get a break in the action Sunday afternoon and into parts of Sunday night. As far as the longer range goes, let's look at the temperature anomalies here in the European model going out into the longer range. As we go into next week, another coolish stretch. Upper 50s, lower 60s. Not cold, but cooler than average. We start May with average highs around 65, 66. So we'll be below that for a few days next week. Notice the warm air compared to average is up in Canada, just like a lot of April. Now, as we roll deeper into next week, here's the 5th and 6th, some of that warm air is going to come into the U.S. and start spreading east. So I think the cool air will ease towards the end of next week. We might even try to pop a 70 here and there about a week from right now across eastern Ohio and western PA. But you'll notice, even though there's warmth building into the U.S., we've got this cool pocket again in southeastern Canada. And this might try to pivot down next weekend. This is Mother's Day weekend, I believe. Might be kind of not a warm weekend, but not a cold one either. Just kind of if you will, for Mother's Day weekend. Warmer off to our west, certainly. As we get beyond Mother's Day weekend and towards the middle of May, this is when I think that warm air will start making strides in the east. Notice the cold weather out west. And when it's cold in the west, a lot of times it's warmer in the east. So once we get past Mother's Day weekend, I'm looking for more and more warm, more typical May air to start getting involved in the pattern here during the middle of May. All right, that's it for Weather Geeks on this Thursday night. Again, we'll do the May forecast tomorrow evening. I hope you'll join me tonight on 21 News at 11 o'clock. And if you haven't downloaded the Storm Tracker 21 app yet, I encourage you to do that. It's a great app. Lots of great information, and all the videos, including this one, you can watch right there on your app. So on your iPad, your iPhone, your Android device, you can watch Weather Geeks to your heart's content. All right, have a great night, everyone. I'll see you back here tomorrow.